Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the beautiful grounds of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Shelter Rock. It's those of you who are tuning in online, you can't see we have 50 socially distanced people here in the audience, and we have some cars, and that's why you're hearing the beeping of the horns. It's really extraordinary that we can be together in person. And I think it's equally extraordinary that we can have live musicians and once again hear live music. I think it's been, for many of us, the hardest part of this period is, number one, not seeing our friends, and from us musicians and people who love the arts, not to have theater and music. And so we're here today to say, one way or another, we're going to continue to make music. And I'm just thrilled that you're here, and I'm thrilled that the Modern Brass Quartet is here to kind of usher in this season of making music in new and different ways. Take it away.
so much. I'm Debbie Schmidt. I'm the horn player in the Modern Brass Quintet. We have... Hi, I'm Debbie Schmidt. I'm the horn player in the Modern Brass Quintet. Nope, not yet. Go to Maria.
Maybe just if you speak loudly, maybe. Oh, hang on.
Yep. Technical difficulties today. I'm Debbie Schmidt. I'm the horn player in the Modern Brass Quintet. We've been playing together since the mid-1990s. I've done probably thousands of educational concerts and a lot of public performances and recitals. You just heard a piece called Chantone Number 5. A chantone is a compilation of different movements, sometimes by different composers, to put together into a piece. So think about if we had the first movement of a Beethoven symphony and the second movement of a Haydn symphony and the third movement from someone else, and we put those together in a book, or an arranger does, to make a new and different piece. Schmidt was in the Baroque era. He actually was an organist like Bach, and Vern Reynolds, who was a horn player and arranger at the Eastman School of Music, put together, I don't know, probably 15 of these chantones with a variety of composers and movements. The next piece we're going to play for you, or group of pieces, are from West Side Story. We're going to do Maria, Tonight, I Feel Pretty, and Somewhere. Iconic music. Unfortunately, when we go to the show, West Side Story, it never really sticks on Broadway for a really long time, but the music has been with us for quite a while.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? All right. All right, thank you very much. My name is Roger Verdi, and I am playing trombone in the group today in the Modern Brass Quintet. And as Debbie said, we've been playing together since the mid-90s, playing every kind of concert or any kind of thing you can imagine. So we're very happy to be here in this socially distanced experience where I'm feeling some raindrops. but we're going to persevere. All right. The next set of 3 pieces we're going to play for you is a set of 3 early Dixieland jazz numbers. They are in order: Livery Stable Blues, Royal Garden is second, right?
No.
Tin Roof. Livery Stable Blues, Tin Roof Blues, and Royal Garden, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, those 3. Now, 2 of these 3, Livery Stable and Royal Garden, were originally recorded by a group called the Original Dixieland Jazz Band, who are claimed to and are purported to have been the first group ever to record jazz music. And the first piece we're going to play, Livery Stable Blues, was a big hit for them, and it was the first thing they recorded in the year 1917 at the Victor Talking Record Company in New York. In 1917, they recorded Livery Stable Blues, and the other side was the Original Dixieland One-Step. And it became a huge hit, and it propelled them to great fame. And for many years, the ODJB, as we call it, played around New York, Chicago, and all over the country. And they're really one of the first groups to really bring jazz to the public. If you listen to the Livery Stable Blues, it's an interesting thing about it. It doesn't really quite swing. We're used to talking about jazz as swinging. You know, we talk about music in the swing era. This piece does not really swing like you think that. It's kind of like, sort of like almost ragtime, almost jazz. It was sort of like a very new idea. The whole idea of jazz and swing was very new, and it really hadn't been fully formed. So you get a feeling it sounds almost like an old march tune or a ragtime tune. Okay, and the other 2 tunes we're going to play, Tin Roof Blues, was also, Tin Roof Blues was also, no, I'm confused, Royal Garden. Royal Garden was also recorded by the ODJB in 1919, and Tin Roof Blues was a big hit for Louis Armstrong, and he recorded it in 1923. And all 3 have the characteristic, you're going to hear the old style jazz music being played. We don't have a traditional jazz band here, but we're close. We have the tuba, we have the trombone, we would have had cornets instead of trumpets, but we're very close. So we hope you dig it. 3 tunes, great old Dixieland numbers, if we can keep going. Remind me to take my mask off. What's that? Don't worry about it. Okay, you all right? I'm back. Can you hear me? Got me? Okay. All right, our next work, we're going to take kind of a hard left turn or right turn, I don't know what you want to call it, from Dixieland jazz from New Orleans to Russia. We're going to hear a piece by the Russian composer Victor Ewald. Now, a little bit about the background of this piece. This ensemble you see before you, 5 brass instruments playing together in a chamber group, is a pretty new invention. Most works that have been written for brass quintet, we really haven't played one yet. We're playing mostly transcriptions, but most works specifically written for brass quintet came about more in the later 20th century. So if you look back, it's kind of hard to find many works that were written specifically for this grouping. Well, Ewald was not the first, but almost the first. For many years, we've considered him to be the first, but then there was another discovery or something earlier. But he was still one of the first to write for the new valved brass instruments that were, in the early days of brass instruments, they were just kind of bugles and rolled up tubes. The valves were invented and opened up a whole new palette for composers to explore in terms of the virtuosic use of the instruments. So Ewald is credited with giving us some of the first works written for this grouping. He himself, like all the composers in Russia in the late 19th and early 20th century, he lived from 1860 to 1935. All composers in Russia in that time had other professions. He was a civil engineer, and he's credited with developing a new type of brick and cement that apparently opened up a whole new area of manufacturing in Russia at the time. And other composers of that period you might have that have more familiar names, like say Alexander Borodin was a chemist. Modest Mussorgsky was a military officer. They all had other professions, and they were all essentially amateur composers. And Ewald didn't have the great lofty, he wasn't as great as well-known a composer as Borodin, Mussorgsky, Rimsky-Korsakov, but he was part of their group, a part of this group of composers that got together, and they decided they wanted to create a uniquely Russian style of music. So he was very involved in Russian folk song and was committed to creating a Russian style of music that was unique to their home country. So the piece we're going to play is his first quintet. This quintet was published in 1912, and for years we thought it was the only work that he ever wrote. But in the 1970s, 3 more quintets were discovered and that were later published. This was the only one that was published during his lifetime. The others, they certainly look like they're by Ewald, but they've never been thoroughly authenticated as being by him. We have the manuscript, but we really aren't 100% certain on the scholarship. We are certain he wrote this one. It was originally entitled Symphony for Brass Instruments, and it's in 3 movements. The first movement is moderato, the second movement is andante, and then the third movement is allegro. So it's a traditional 3-movement work, hearing a lot of beautiful Russian melodies. You're going to be very, I'm hoping, captivated by Ewald's incredible gift of melody, which is present throughout the whole work. So please to enjoy. Oh, one more thing. This would have been originally written for 2 cornets, tuba. I would have been playing a thing called a tenor horn. I'm not even close. And then Debbie would have been playing an alto horn. So we're very close to having the original interpretation, but not quite. So please enjoy.
Thank you very much. So now that's sort of our last big serious piece. We have a set of pieces now coming up. The first one is an arrangement that was originally done for the Canadian brass. It's called Saints Hallelujah, and as you can probably guess, we have When the Saints Go Marching In and the Hallelujah Chorus. And the story behind the genesis of this piece is the Canadian brass was going to be doing a command performance for the Queen, and they asked the Queen, what's some of your favorite music? And the two pieces she picked was When the Saints Go Marching In and the Hallelujah Chorus. So they had Luther Henderson put this together as an arrangement, all to entertain the Queen, and I hope you are all equally as entertained. Did I say who I am?
What's that?
Did I say who I am?
Yeah, tell me who you were.
Huh?
You didn't tell me who you were.
Yeah, did I say who I am?
No.
Oh, I didn't, okay. Sorry, I was so rude I didn't introduce myself. I'm Thomas Verchot. I am one of the 2 trumpet players in this group.
what's the Hallelujah chorus without a piccolo trumpet?
All right. Ready, guys?
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Bitonti, and I'm the other trumpet player in the group. First of all, thank you to the United Universalist Church of Shelter Rock, Unitarian, I'm sorry, for allowing us to come out and perform for you, because for many of us, it's the first time in many months. And for some of us, it's the first time wearing pants in many months. I believe there is one person here who's not happy about that, and I will leave his name unmentioned. You've heard a lot of music so far today, and as Roger alluded to earlier, most of it, with the exception of the Ewald, and even the Ewald, was not written for the group that you see in front of you. The brass quintet, as he mentioned, is a modern invention, maybe from the early 1900s, perhaps. So a lot of music that we have played has been arranged, many of which has been arranged by a man named Jack Gale. And you'll hear a medley coming up shortly by him, who's a trombone player and a fabulous arranger. But the piece we're about to perform for you right now is by a man named John Cheatham, and he actually wrote this piece of music for the group that you see in front of you. It's the only piece that we have for you today that does feature, that's been written for the brass quintet. The piece is called Scherzo. It's a very short work. The word Scherzo means joke. John Cheatham is still living, still composing. He's a retired professor from the University of Missouri at Columbia. He's a native of New Mexico. And he grew up playing the trombone. Why, I don't know. Why not the trumpet? But in any case, he got the composition bug while playing. I believe he was playing an ensemble. He was playing trombone. I believe it might have even been a Beethoven symphony for which there was no trombones. And he had the time off. And you know, trombone players get paid whether they play or not, and that goes for any other instrument. So he got the composition bug. He became, like I said, he went to school and became a professor of music theory and composition. And this piece of music probably might be his most famous, and it's certainly one of the favorites of the brass quintet world. And again, it's John Cheatham, and it's Scherzo.
My name is Dale Turk. I am a tuba player. The next piece we're going to play is a medley of tunes from Rodgers and Hammerstein's Sound of Music. Rodgers and Hammerstein, of course, had a wonderful career. Their first big hit was Oklahoma. And after that, what do you follow up with in terms of a Broadway musical? But they came up with Carousel. They also did South Pacific. Just amazingly prolific. Sound of Music was the last musical that they wrote together because Oscar Hammerstein II passed about 9 months after it opened in 1959. And there was also a movie version that many people would know as well from 1965, starring Christopher Plummer and Julie Andrews. I remember growing up having the soundtrack in our house from the Broadway musical and being a little, there was a couple of tunes there that I really missed when the movie came out. But anyway, this medley covers all the hits that are in both the movie and the stage musical, so we hope you enjoy that.
Thank you. We've got two short pieces left. The first one we're going to play is a piece called Bugler's Holiday by Leroy Anderson. And it wouldn't be a Pops concert, a summer concert, and it is still summer, without some Leroy Anderson. The composer John Williams called him the master of the small, light classical pieces, and Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops almost always included one selection of his on pretty much every one of their programs. And if it really weren't for Arthur Fiedler, we might not all have Leroy Anderson. Of course, Leroy Anderson's most famous piece is Sleigh Ride, but this is a piece he originally wrote for 3 solo trumpets, but as you can see, there's only 2 of us, so we get some help with throwing in the 3rd trumpet part into the lower brass. So I hope you enjoy this, Bugler's Holiday.
A whole new world with these things. Still getting used to it. So anyway, thanks very much. We do have one more piece to play, but we want to thank you again for having us on this. It looks like the weather held, which we're very happy to have had happen. Once again, we are the Modern Brass Quintet. And just to give you one more introduction to our members, to the left we have Tom Verchot playing trumpet, Mr. Jason Bitonti playing trumpet next to Tom, the anchor man in the back, Dale Turk, playing tuba, and my good friend Deborah Schmidt playing French horn to my left, and I'm Roger Verdi, and I'm playing the trombone. Thank you. Okay, we got one more piece. We've got one more piece. It's another old Dixieland tune. It was made famous by Louis Armstrong, also by Jackie Gleason. It's entitled That's a Plenty, and it's by Ben Pollock. So thanks again, and enjoy this last tune.
Thank you so much. And please, again, let's thank the Modern Brass Quintet for being here today. Really wonderful. Now, don't you feel better? Don't you feel better? I want to leave you with two things. One, I would like to urge you to, if you enjoyed today's concert, and I'm sure you did, and you'd like to hear more music, I urge you to like our Facebook page, which is Music and Performing Arts at Shelter Rock. If you go to Facebook and just search Music and Performing Arts at Shelter Rock, you'll find eventually a recording of today, and also other recordings of various musical activities here at Shelter Rock. Secondly, I'd like to say this is an extraordinarily hard time for musicians and for performing artists and for performing arts organizations. I know there are a lot of demands on all of us at this period, but please, if you're able, support the arts organizations who enrich your lives. They will not survive unless you reach deep. They will not survive unless you become an advocate for the arts. I'm afraid this is going to go on longer than any of us want, and I fear that many organizations will not make it. So if the performing arts are important to you, to your family, to your children, to future generations, please be proactive and support the arts. Thanks for coming out today. Thank you once again to the Modern Brass Quintet. Be safe. Thanks, guys. That's great.
Thanks, Steve.